Another man done gone. Another man done gone. Sunday County Summer.
It's Jax. What up, Dallas? Let's go.
Martin Luther had a dream, but Freddy Krueger had a Ruger. Ex-Malcolm out the picture, so now we back to the future. Now we back to these losers embracing death like they used to, poking out they chest. But listen, son, now you leaking that fuchsia. So who's the shooter? Is it your man? Or was it a fan? Or was it a stand? Pop would beg to differ. In hindsight, I bet you he said he was not a nigga. Plus Biggie Smalls was just minding his business, yo. Smoking an Optimo. Somebody got to drop the homie Biggie has got to go. And they couldn't stop it, no, I wish that they could. Yeah, the world needs change, but man, I wish that we would. So why the long frown? A man harmed from a 4 pound. His blood ripples on the floor from the war sound. His mama sitting at the wake, hoping the Lord's found. Another dead, another gone now. Damn.
Another man done gone. Another man done gone. Sunday County Summer. Man done gone.
George Eliot said that it's best to be what you wanna be. Fuck it, do what you wanna do. So I do what I wanna do. Bet you did it to floss. Bitch, I did what I wanted. Bet you did it and lost. Bitch, I did it and won it. Shit, I'm never coming back. Listen, I just wanna rap. Gee, I told y'all all of that. On about a dozen tracks. I don't give a fuck. I just wanna rap. Spitting fire on this track like a fucking Thundercat. Plus this mic is bleeding roho. This shit is a no-no. Rolling in that low-low. Plus I'm from that Baltimore. Need a fofo. Smoking on my logo. Ready for the woe and we so-so. Send it with the flow. Somebody got a robo. Heard the lanes and I swear they so-so. Too much love for the fame just to go broke. You said think I had the rap game in the show card. Never think I got the whole world in a rope. Gotta think of damn dog, you crazy. Is he the next Jay-Z? My crystal ball is hazy, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, welcome back to the Insanity Check Podcast. This is Chris here, and back after taking a week of I think last week off, didn't I? Like I don't know, man. It's been going kind of crazy. October's a crazy month when we're really busy. We're coming into the last 2 months of the year. Next week is election day, and hopefully we'll also be here next Wednesday. We'll see. I'm not holding out hope for that. The voices you hear I am being joined by 2 of the 3 artists formerly known as bed terrorists from Whiskey, Wine, and Moonshine.
I forgot all about that.
I'll never forget that. I have Lady V so Joe with me. We're hoping that Miss Smart will still join us. How are you ladies doing?
Good. I'm actually podcasting from the bed surrounded by pillows.
Oh, goodness. I decided not to do that, but I did consider it. So I reserve the right to change my mind anytime.
20 pillows, all covers. It's all good.
Typical setting of a bed terrace. Again, it's been. I looked it up. I think it's been maybe like 40 episodes.
Yeah, because actually it was the Hell No Cupid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I wasn't even including. I was just talking about the Insanity Checks. It's been a while.
I see. Oh yeah, gosh, that's been forever.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was good. I gotta. And here's how I knew. I knew we're gonna talk about this later on, but I knew there was a sign to bring you ladies on. Serial terrorism. Apparently, Girl Scout cookies are becoming a cereal. I'm gonna save that for later.
Oh,
we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this.
But see, Smart's not here. I'm on your side. Ever since they got rid of the shortcake recipe way back in the day, I have not been a Girl Scout cookie person. That's Smart. So that's your battle with her.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying.
She's not here to defend herself.
That might be why she's not here. I'm just saying. I've seen this stuff. It starts first with the cookies and it becomes cereal. It's a fucking slippery slope. I'm just saying, it's a slippery fucking slope. Anyway, let me get through some quick
Girl Scout cookies.
We're not playing. We're not playing that yet. We're not playing that yet. Stop.
Wow.
Auto playing stuff. All right, let me get through some quick housekeeping stuff. Again, this show is being sponsored by Susan Berry, the Pool Law Firm, which is located in Silver Spring, Maryland. Susan Berry and Troy Poole are excellent attorneys in the Maryland, D.C. area. They're from the D.C. and Maryland area, so if you're in the DMV, please check them out. Poole Law Firm handles criminal law, family law, and personal injury. So if you need an attorney and you want to know more, please head over to their wonderful website, www.thepoollawfirm.com. That's pool with an E, Poole, lawfirm.com. 301-585-3014. Also, check out tweakedaudio.com. Put the code in reviews. Get 33% off, free shipping, and free lifetime warranty off any earbuds and headphones. If you also want to support the site, don't forget MTR Network Premium. We have again. I know we've been last month. We got 6. I think we still got 6 episodes in. Maybe it might have been 5 last month. You're gonna get way more. I think by the end of this weekend, I will already have had 4 episodes done. Right? I think. Yeah, because we just did Beetlejuice. So we'll have Beetlejuice. Justin and Sterling are going to be on for talking Batman, episode 3, the Telltale Game. Tomorrow we're doing, Petty Krueger and I are doing, Black Mirror and Return of the Living Dead. And the ladies are also doing another they're recording some docu-drunk episodes as well. So again, that first episode's on the free feed. So if you want to join and listen to that, please do that. And on Wednesday, D. Palm and I will be more than likely recording our Doctor Strange spoiler review. So again, if you're worried about not getting your premium content, there's a lot of stuff coming. So just hold on. You'll be getting it in your feeds very, very soon. So, all right, I got that stuff out of the way. Now let's go to this terrorism.
Delicious, and will get you to break that diet you're on. That is, when they finally arrive at your doorstep weeks after placing an order. Soon enough, you'll just have to wait until breakfast to enjoy. General Mills says yes, it's true. Girl Scouts cookie cereal will hit U.S. stores in January. We'll share more details soon. Here's what we know so far. It will come in 2 flavors. Thin Mints, which will no doubt taste like their wildly popular cookie flavor, and Caramel Crunch, which isn't part of their 12-flavor lineup, but seems to be modeled after Caramel Delights, also known as Samoa. General Mills says some of the proceeds will go to benefit the Girl Scouts organization. The January launch will coincide with the start of the traditional cookie selling season. The news was well received on Twitter, with users like Kaylee tweeting, "Real tears just came out of my eyes because of this tweet."
Fuck you,
JP
Kaylee.
followed it up with a gif of Oprah crying as if she were reacting to the exciting news. And Cookie Monster obviously can't wait. The only negative comments I could find had to do with the lack of variety and the supposed idea that they'd be unhealthy. For
You
those
didn't
who
check my
can't wait
timeline.
to try the flavors, don't expect the cereal to stick around forever. They're a limited edition item. I'm Sean Dowling for Buzz60. Now you know, pass it on. Girl.
Nobody wants to pass that on.
Listen.
No, nobody except for
That's gross.
Just make
It's gross. I mean, I can't even. I'm trying to picture. I
Thin
can't
Mint
picture anything about it.
cereal.
Mm-mm.
Thin Mint cereal.
Mm-mm.
Thin Mint cereal. Oh, and apparently Smart's logging in right now. Oh, this is going to be
Right,
great.
that's what I
Oh,
was like,
perfect
just
timing.
missed.
Perfect time. Oh, no. We're going to play this back when she gets on. She is not out of this one. This is terrible. Look, this is where I believe, this is my conspiracy theory. General Mills, they are betting on a Trump presidency because this is some Trump type terrorism right here. Like only Trump, like this is Trump's America. Trump's America.
Like, if anybody is left after the election and Trump wins, they got this.
Like this is what you get. You get Thin Mint cereal. Like that is absurd.
Do you drink it with like skim milk to keep it all thin?
Oh,
or do
that
you,
is
like
even
drink it with
worse.
whole milk.
my
Or
God.
what happens?
Hello?
Or
Oh,
She's here.
oh,
Smart.
we have something special for you. Thank you for joining us.
Oh gosh.
you don't even get a chance to.
Oh no. I need answers, and we're gonna get answers right now. You don't get an introduction. This is your people. We're gonna play this again for you, just for you.
Okay.
Girl Scout cookies. They're sweet,
Yes.
delicious.
Hey, this is Diplo.
Oh no!
Check
What are you
in
doing? What is it? No, don't come in with this ad here. They came in with another ad. You're not safe yet. We're dealing with the terrorism right now. I'm getting the terrorism stuff taken care of right up front in this show, so we can get on a good foot. All right? Because I enjoy you ladies, and I want this to be a good show.
To break that diet you're on. That is, when they finally arrive at your doorstep weeks after placing an order. Soon enough, you'll just have to wait until breakfast to enjoy. General Mills says yes, it's true. Girl Scouts cookie cereal will hit U.S. stores in January. We'll share more details soon. Here's what we know so far. It will come in 2 flavors. Thin Mints, which will no doubt taste like their wildly popular cookie flavor, and Caramel Crunch, which isn't part of their 12-flavor lineup, but seems to be modeled after Caramel Delights, also known as Samoas.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I think that's a wonderful idea, and I don't know why it took so long.
Gross.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
as
why?
expected.
I mean, listen.
Smart is a part of Trump's America. You see?
This is how the terrorists win.
You know, here's the thing. Though, I am surprised it took this long because the candy bars were wildly successful and not to mention delicious. So it makes sense.
Too?
They have seasonal candy bars that are Nestle's Crunches and Thin Mints and Nestle's Crunch and Samoas. And I think there's a third one with those peanut butter cookies. But the first two I mentioned are also delicious. I mean, you know.
So before you got on, we were wondering, do you drink this with skim milk?
No, that's just disgusting.
Oh, that's the line we draw.
Right. I'm line at skim milk. No, it's okay to have thin milk mint cereal.
Well, I mean, listen, we're in a country where we have Cocoa Puffs, we have Lucky Charms with marshmallows that are hard as rocks. I mean, really,
they soften
with
the milk. They soften with the milk, damn it.
I was just about to say they do soften.
But you assume this doesn't soften with the milk.
Nobody wants soggy Thin Mints.
So we're okay with soggy Thin Mints then. Okay.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
That just sounds like a bathroom situation. It was waiting to happen. Elementary schools everywhere.
See, this is what happens when you have. This is what happens when you have Trump possibly winning the election. You know, you get Thin Mint cereal in every home. Just goes
and a bowl of Thin Mints on every table and a slave in every backyard.
It's just not a life for us.
You're gonna need somebody to dig the outhouse because you're gonna be in there for a while.
Exactly.
So.
Y'all don't know. Y'all making a lot of assumptions.
We do not have the infrastructure or the sewer system to handle this. Trump's America.
So many assumptions.
So Thin Mint cereal and Samoa, like how is that even gonna work? Like that is disgusting.
Do you really want to live in America in an America where we halt creativity? No, you don't want that.
I want that creativity halted.
Yeah. Kind of like
the
lyrics for modern songs. They actually drained all the creativity out and they just repeat the same one line over and over and over and over again.
But this isn't a repetition.
This cereal is sawdust with probably probably a little bit of color and shaping. That's it. No nutritional value.
But most cereal doesn't have nutritional value.
I know. I mean, my dad used to call it sawdust when I was a kid, so I know we haven't increased. So no creativity. It's just gross now. That's it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and test them because I'm going to keep an open mind.
Of course you are.
Yeah. So whatever. I'll report back.
Yeah, let us know how
if you survive.
Yeah. Right. We'll hold it up in prayer over here.
You should like live tweet it and like make pictures or even do it on Snapchat.
Yes.
Yeah, Snapchat it.
This is gonna be when people live tweeted, you know, eating what was it?
Patty pies?
No, it wasn't just the patty pie. It was the damn what was that sandwich? Was it Burger King where it was the
Double Down?
The Double Down. Gonna get halfway through it and realize you made a mistake. Here's the thing about being the taste tester for some of these foods. All right, even if there's a big if I was like a Thin Mint fan, I would not want to try this cereal because the thing about cereal is if it's not good, not only do you have the bowl of cereal left, you then have the box, and you're stuck with it. Like. That's too much of a...
I can't wait to see Smart, have to see it through. Cause
that's not a have to. Using the word have to makes it... Using the word have to makes it sound like it's a chore. I look forward to it. And if it isn't good, I can just sprinkle it on some lactose-free Breyers. Vanilla ice cream.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you telling me... I'm sorry. I cannot believe what I just heard here. Are you telling me that you are violating Breyer's ice cream with Girl Scout cookies?
That's just how committed she is to this foolishness.
Are you? what kind of blasphemy is this?
That is just
Like,
how committed
what
she
kind
is.
of-
She voted for Trump. That's what
Now you're going too far.
I cannot
secret.
believe what I am hearing here and the kind of terrorist act that is happening. Like, what did Breyer's ice cream ever do to you?
Be delicious, and I'm going to make it more delicious and not be wasteful. If indeed it doesn't work out as a cereal option, it can be a sprinkle option.
Oh my goodness. This is. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm caught off guard. I'm usually not. I'm usually prepared. I don't know when I'm. I don't. I'm gonna go get some Breyer's ice. I'm gonna go get some Breyer's ice cream tonight, and just. I'm not even gonna eat it. I'm just gonna tell it. I'm saving you. I'm gonna save as much Breyer's ice cream as I can possibly save from people doing this and violating them with Girl Scout cookies. It's just
Judgy McJudges a lot.
I am judging. I am the
when
Kim
does
Davis
this come
of
out?
judging when it comes to Girl Scout cookies. All right, I will refuse to do my job.
Is this like January or something?
Yeah, it's January.
Birthday time.
That's what I said. She'd get it for her birthday. That's what I said.
Yeah.
But you know what? Basically, you guys are the people who first scoffed at eating collard greens. That's who y'all are. Why would you eat that stuff? Oh, well, I mean, whatever dialect they were using as you know.
You know what? Stop.
That's disgusting. You're going to die. What is it? How long you got
I
to
was
cook
the one
it?
that said, "Oh, we got bacon, we got grease, we got some greens. Let's go on and see what happens."
Yeah, it has bacon. I mean, it's totally different. Like, okay, look. Okay, I'll meet you halfway. If they start wrapping Girl Scout cookies in bacon, we'll talk. We'll have to have a conversation. Like, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, then we can talk. You know, it's just like I gotta hear you out. Then could you add it in bacon? But until then, I mean, no, it's not even. You know, you can't make the comparison.
I feel like I can because basically what I'm saying is that you guys need to open your minds.
Committed to this foolery.
Oh, I've opened my mind. I'm not gonna. No, I have closed my mind. Like I said, I'm the Kim Davis of this shit. If I was working in a grocery store, I would be the person that would refuse to ring up anybody buying Girl Scout cookie cereal. I would take it all this to the Supreme Court. I'd have Mike Huckabee there going, nah, you stand by his right to do that. That would be me. I would be the Kim Davis of this shit. I would not.
Lane 5 is closed.
I'd be quoting the Bible and everything. Completely wrong. It doesn't matter. I still be using it. It's like, thou shalt not pour milk over Girl Scout cookie cereal. I know it's in there somewhere. It's got to be.
Well, you know what? If you guys insist on being on the wrong side of history, I can only hold you up in prayer because it's happening and it's going to be delicious and y'all going to be like, gosh, I should have just listened. She be knowing. But, okay. Go ahead. You probably eat kale.
Buddha?
Yeah, I do. It ain't no shame in my game. I had some last night. Sure did. Nice crock pot chicken, rice, and sauteed kale. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, actually keep the white people on that because we don't want them messing up the greens again this year. So.
I saw that Neiman Marcus post about how they're selling greens for like $17.
Yes, for like $1,000.
Like, look, I'll be honest, man. We as black people, we gotta get in on this shit. We got. I know we feel some kind of way about the cultural vultures and things like that, but I think we just got to put a white face on it, but have a black-owned company and a white face and start selling white people like the cheapest shit that we have.
Snoop and Mark already have
Well,
their
they're already
shows,
selling barrettes and bows.
Mm-hmm. And they sell greens in a can. They sell the Glory greens and Sylvia's greens in a can. Now I don't know how much how they taste because obviously, but they are available. I don't know if they're available in white grocery. Well, actually,
no. See, that's the problem. You got to rename it. All hipstery.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You can't call it Sylvia's. You gotta give it like some kind of hipster name to it.
Mm-hmm.
So they
organic,
think it's
free range.
Yeah, there you go.
Free range meat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have free range kale.
I once went to a cooking class years ago at a white cooking school that taught white people how to make greens. It was the most hilarious thing I had ever seen in my life because they were and they were cooking them wrong, of course. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they paid like a whole bunch of money to come in and learn how to. It was greens and fried chicken. That's what they were.
Oh no, yeah. See,
white cooking school.
You gotta sell them on shit. Don't you make it like free range kale.
What?
Yeah, it makes no sense, right? But they're gonna go, oh my God, is it gluten free? Yeah, it's gluten free, free range, organic kale. Oh well, I gotta buy it. How much? $20 a pound.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounds
okay.
about right. And
Yeah.
just sprinkle some lemon on it too, because they like that.
Yeah, lemon with a side of mayonnaise.
It'll work.
Oof, that's disgusting.
No,
Oh,
no,
now
that's
you hit
that's a money maker. That's a money maker right there, guys. I'm over here. I'm giving it away for free. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying you gotta know how to do it. Add some cheese in. Just saying. We're
So
on
basically, collard greens, you're doing them wrong. We need a commercial.
yeah, you gotta make. Here's the thing. What I realize about white people. All right, I love you guys to death. Any white listeners, love you guys to death. We just gotta adjust ourselves sometimes to make you guys feel like it's basically like mansplaining. You know, you gotta sometimes make a man feel like it's his idea when it's not. It totally wasn't his idea at all. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be no, yeah, you guys discovered greens. You did, and you just tell them how to. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Speaking of mansplaining and men being terrible, I'm glad to have you ladies on because this article came out, I think, last Friday. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and I'd love to get a lady's perspective on this. Yeah, so apparently there have been trials for male contraceptive. Mm-hmm. And in the trial of 320 men, researchers found that over a 1-year period, it was 96% effective to prevent pregnancy. Spokeswoman for the World Health Organization said, so they found it possible to have a hormonal contraceptive for men that reduces the risk of unplanned pregnancies and the partners for men to use it. But the trial of the drug has already been halted because just 20 out of the 320 men found the side effects of the injection intolerable, and it was decided that more research needed to be done to try to counteract them. Those side effects included... I love that. Because when you hear side effects, you're like, okay, wait a minute. Side effects, what could it possibly be? It's got to be something horrible, right? Side effects included depression, muscle pain, mood swings, acne, and changes to libido.
Are you kidding? Really? I'm shocked.
Listen, that's the only man on the show right now. I'm laughing my ass off because, god damn it, we're so fucking weak.
Grow up.
we are such fucking babies.
Well, the short-term inconvenience of acne is just not worth it. You'd rather have the long-term inconvenience of another human to take care of.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think that they're gonna have a hard time overcoming it because I think a lot of men don't actually want to prevent pregnancy. Like, yeah, I think that, I mean, of course, I'm not talking about everybody, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, I think that there's a whole group that psychologically deep down, they would have a problem with knowing they were blocking the potential of making a child come into the world. And that's why sometimes they do all these things to, risky shit, and actually try to impregnate women who actively don't want to be pregnant.
Yeah,
that happens.
That's a good point. That's something that you don't hear very often about.
You don't hear
like in the mainstream, but you hear it all the time. Like you hear men do this kind of stuff, and you're like, because I guess the society always tells us that men are the ones who don't. It's only women that have the biological clock for children, right? But there's so much evidence to the contrary of that sometimes it's men can have that desire for kids too, and legacy and those other bullshit that we sometimes think. Because it's all about us anyway.
That's what I mean. The legacy.
Right.
There's this whole kind of underground, I guess, kind of discussion about legislators, for instance, who are so anti-abortion, but that at the root, it's really about making sure that white women continue to procreate. So I don't think that I just think there's a large segment that probably wouldn't admit it in polite, groups, that they aren't interested in being responsible for stopping, themselves out into the world, basically.
Well, you can see some Twitter conversations, like when Hood Twitter gets, when they have their conversations, you can actually see that based on some of the things the dudes say. Like not necessarily the taking care of the kid later, but the putting the baby in her, they'll talk about that in a minute. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, y'all are wimps. Like y'all are punks. Like all of that stuff. I mean, we risk death, taking birth control
High
a lot
blood
of times.
pressure.
I was just about to say high blood pressure, stroke, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all get a little bit of a libido change and some acne, and that's too much. So
I got a zit on my cheek. I can't do it no more.
And here's the other thing too that throws me off, because like when you hear that men couldn't handle, you're like, oh my god, these men are obviously rightfully so. Men are weaks. They're whims. They're whiners and complainers. But again, it was only 20 of them out of 320. So that means 300 men were okay with the side effects, yet they still halted the trial.
Right.
And I'm just like, wait a minute. That's not how trials work, is it?
No, I don't think so. But
I don't think that's how it works. Because even when you get regular other drugs out there, there's always those warnings. You see the drug commercials where they go, oh yeah, do you want to no longer be depressed? Then take this drug, and it goes with a laundry list of all the side effects that could possibly happen.
Actually kill you instead.
Right.
Because they always end with "and death."
Right. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? It's okay. Like that's the thing too. Like erectile dysfunction pills come with side effects, and some of the side effects are the same as this. I guarantee you, if this wasn't about male birth control, but it was about erectile dysfunction, I guarantee you those same 20 men that couldn't bear with it would have been like, but does my dick still work?
Right.
Oh, I'll live with it then.
I'm feeling a little moody, but
yeah, I'll live with it. Yeah, I'll live with it. I'm getting a little back acne, but my dick still works, right? Oh, well, fuck it. So it's partly that we're wimps, but I don't even think that these men couldn't handle it. I think they didn't want to, and they knew that the trial would be halted, and they wouldn't have to, like, that's the privilege we have as men, that we can just say we don't like something and we can just avoid it. Like, that's the idea of just privilege in general, of you being able to say, nope, fuck this shit. You get a taste of what the other side lives like, and you're like, fuck this shit. I'm taking my ball and going home. That's literally what these men did. It is just, it's sad, it's hilarious, it's pathetic. Like,
it's typical.
Yeah, very typical. Yeah, like I said, we're terrible. We're absolutely
And
terrible.
I mean, it's with anything. I mean, men, y'all are just horrible people. I mean,
which is why you don't deserve extra covers and extra pillows.
Way to bring it back.
Oh, I know.
See, we had. I thought we had moved past this. I thought you guys were the terrorists formerly known as bad terrorism. But
what happens after sex? Sleep. Word. So I mean, we brought it back full circle.
Wow.
We're just gonna.
That was Sojo. Just
right. We were innocent. I'm over here eating chicken, so I'm not a part of that.
I was getting a blanket. That was Sojo.
I stand in my truth.
We know you the high one.
Real quick, so I'm gonna move on. I'm not even gonna address this. Just kind of first it was the cereal, now it's the bed covers again. It's like, you guys are. I'm trying to meet you guys halfway with not being terrorists anymore, and it is not going well. Real quick, because I mentioned it, I wanted to go through. I looked it up. I wanted to go through. This is a list of the common side effects of Viagra. All right, headaches, flushing in the face and neck and chest, upset stomach, abnormal vision, nasal congestion, back pain, muscular pain, nausea, dizziness, rash, diarrhea. Those are some of the common side effects. Serious side effects of Viagra: change or loss of vision, ringing in ears, loss of hearing loss, chest pain and irregular heartbeat, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, swelling in the hands, ankles, and feet. But we're okay with this.
That's fine.
But we're okay.
Yeah, because
we can deal with this.
I can keep that action going.
Right. I mean, it's not like you can't not have sex while you have shortness of breath. I mean, sure, you may have a heart attack, but you'll have a heart attack with your penis in someone.
I still got mine, right?
Changes. It's all right.
Yeah, like, I love I love hearing loss. And or loss. So dudes are like, all right, I can't see and I can't hear during sex, but I can feel my dick still working, so it's okay. Like that's
and I don't have bad acne.
And I don't have bad acne.
So I don't have, I'm not taking the other one.
Right. So that's literally what we're willing to put up with. So I can't even say, I'm going to take it back. I can't even say that we're wimps. It's just it's so privileged. And no way they halt a trial over this. Like I saw, again, I'm not trying to start beef or anything, but I saw the much talked about Very Smart Brothers article where they wrote about this and they were talking about, oh, well, good that they needed to work out the side effect. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Like, it's not like 90% of men who were in the trial were getting these side effects. It was 20 men, 20. I think that was like 6%. Come on, man.
Stop the whole thing.
Come on.
But the other thing too is, men often stick together, even though it's ridiculous. Like those other 300 men, it's not like they probably rose up and was like, no, we want
Let's
to
keep
continue.
going. Right, let's keep going.
We're like, okay, well, we haven't been responsible for birth control on this level before, so we're going to stand with our brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Like it just, oh my God, it's so fucking weird.
That's your team. That's the blue team. That's how y'all play.
You're right. These are my people. These is my people, and I'm ashamed to know them. I just, yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the other thing too is, did you guys ever consider that maybe for those 20, it was triggering because it took them back to high school acne and that kind of thing? Maybe that's what it was. No? Okay.
You're being so generous to these jackasses.
They were in a bad place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Jim was in the trial and going, how come I'm taking the male birth control I was working on? And then looks in the mirror and is like, oh, not again.
Right.
I'm a pizza face again. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's just, like I said, and like I said, all the articles have pointed out that everything that these men are dealing with are, and I don't even want to, like, I think we do a disservice when we say these are the same side effects that women deal with their birth control. I think your side effects are actually worse.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like these are so I can't even say these are the same. They're not the same side effects. These are like, if those are the only side effects you get from taking birth control as a man, you're still more privileged than women. Like, you still have it better.
Blood clots, strokes,
blood clots.
Like,
so
it's amazing. Like, so you're telling me that men get the side effects, and all of a sudden now you want to do something about the side effects? We want to now go back and fix them when women have been dealing with this shit for years and decades.
It's just an excuse. It's just politics. They don't want to do it.
Right. I would say they're not going back to fix it for women.
Yeah,
they're going back to fix it for men.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going back to fix it for men. They're going to use it as an excuse and act like they're fixing it. And 5 years from now, we're going to still be wondering, I wonder whatever happened to that trial.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, because it's not popular.
Now, the conspiracy theorist in me says they just use this as an excuse to stop the trial because they found that they realized that this was going to have long-term cause men to be sterile long-term, and they didn't want to admit that. But, hey, we'll see.
I mean, that would be a legit reason maybe to halt the drug. But I think that's a good theory. But that's just I'm going with some research. Some male researcher was like, wait a minute. They're getting side effects. Well, we can't have that. That could be me one day. So no, we can't do that. So all right. All right. Let's. We got in some fun stuff before. Let's get into this stuff. Tuesday the world might end. The world's not going to end, but it's definitely
not going to end because he's losing. But anyway,
yeah. Well, here's the thing: I am one of the people I would rather bet on. I'm not gonna lie. I am still hurt from 2000. It really caught me off guard when they said that George W. Bush was going to be president of the United States.
I was just completely shocked.
And I know we always go, "Oh, Bush stole the election. It was a Florida." I'm like, but you guys don't understand. It's never been that close.
Right. It never should have been
It
that
shouldn't
close in
have
the
been that
first
close.
one.
I had paid attention to politics a little bit before, but again, I mean, that year was me going into college, so I'm really paying attention to politics. It was a big thing going on in the dorm because you got into school that fall, and there's a big thing going on in the dorm, and like we had a wall of Bushisms of just all the dumb, like you think Trumpisms are way worse. We had Bushisms of all the dumb things that George W. Bush had said out of his mouth, and you read the board going, oh, there's no way this guy can win. He's a fucking idiot, right?
Mm-hmm. Wrong.
And
Well, I mean, we were all young. Like, I didn't, and that was my first time. I mean, I knew how elections work, but I didn't, because I actually was, I had just moved to Atlanta that fall, but my residency was still in Florida. But I switched it to Georgia, which I shouldn't have done. I should have kept my residency in Florida and voted absentee. And when I realized everything and Florida this and Florida that, I was like, oh my God. It was life-changing for me, because I started looking at politics in a different way.
right.
Well, my mother told me, because early on I was like, oh, yeah, Donald Trump, he could never win. She was like, yeah, we thought the same thing about Ronald Reagan. He's just a movie. I mean, he not only did he win for his state, then he went on to become president. She was like, we didn't really think he could win president.
Yeah.
But he did. So don't count that dude out.
Yeah, and
here we are.
Yep, and that's why I've just been on some, like, once he got out of the primary, I was like, all right, cool, yeah, no, all hands on deck. Just I'm not going to, all the numbers and all of, like, traditional, not even traditional, just like logic says he should lose and should lose big. Like, I'm seeing a lot of talk about people have just not been really counting the Latino vote and their numbers, and I've been seeing more reporting on that this weekend. And that should bode very, very poorly for Donald Trump. And, I am just, again, I never like the two elections with Obama. Like, I didn't count them until it was done. Like, once those numbers, it was clear that he was going to get those numbers, then I relaxed. But until then, I'm never touchdown dancing. I'm never celebrating before they call that 270.
Right.
And yeah.
If and when he loses, he is going to act a complete
He already
monkey.
said he would. Yep, he
Yeah.
already said he would. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So be prepared. And I'm so glad I don't have to go into an office the next day. Woo, sweet Jesus. Sweet Mother of God.
So funny too.
I do, and I'd have to go in with the Republicans. So.
Yeah. Look, yes,
Republicans who left work early crying because Obama won.
I keep forgetting that happened.
Yes, left work.
They were sick.
Oh, that was beautiful. But anyway,
that is hilarious. No, I went into working with. I don't like talking about politics at work, and like this again. I don't like knowing because you got to deal with these. I don't want to know where my coworkers stand on things because it'll change the way you look at them. Like I remember. I never found out whose car it was. I think it was this week. I go into my car because when I put up shows, now I have to put up shows in the middle of the day. So I go to the car to get my laptop and do it from the car. So I'm sitting in my car and I look up and the car across from me has a Trump pin sticker, and I'm just like, I am so angry. Like, which one of my and so I'm going, and when I get into the building, I'm just looking. Again, I'm not in a small building, right? Like, this is a huge, but there's no way I'll be able to look at somebody and go, it's you, isn't it, Bob? Like, every person I came across, I was just like, is it you? Is it your car? I actually thought at one point, sitting in my car and waiting for whoever it was to come out, just so I can know. So every time I walk around, I can just mean mug them. And I was like, God damn it, man. Like, this is why don't put bumper stickers on your car. Don't do this. Don't. I believe that's what increases road rage.
Bumper stickers?
Yeah.
They probably do.
It does.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I get a little angry when I see McCain Palin sticker still. I get angry anytime I see a Trump pin sticker. Like it gets me angry because all that going to mind is you're a fucking racist.
Yep.
Well, I'm not.
They're unapologetic about it. So I mean, they really are. And they want you to know. And actually, a lot of them want you to engage them about it. That's what I realized.
Yeah. Oh well, you know what? Let's just go right into this one because this is a nice little goes into. This is about how And I'm gonna go into my little rant. Have a little rant about people not voting. And I'm sorry, I know it's problematic to say that, but I'm going to that a little bit later. We'll warm up to that first. With there's this there's all this talk about how if Trump wins, and here's the thing, I think even if he loses, what the GOP party has done is they've kind of normalized and given a voice to all these white supremacists, and I think that we are underselling kind of how much how emboldened they are and how unafraid they are to let people know how. Listen, I know we say that sometimes the undercover racism is worse than the in-your-face racism. I think it's a different case when you start getting white supremacists. Like flat out, I'm a white nationalist, white supremacist. I'm just gonna come out there and say, they get scary. It's one of those things to me that I think we're underselling. We're underselling it. So here's this is William Johnson out in Utah, and he did this. He did this white national. He is a white nationalist. He admits it, and he does a robocall against Evan McMullin, who is the independent candidate.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, he's the independent candidate out there in Utah, who's actually making Trump's life out there a living hell because he's pulling a lot of the Mormon vote. So this is the robocall this guy did, and I want you to understand how bold this is. All right.
Hello, my name is William Johnson. I'm a farmer and a white nationalist. I make this call against Evan McMullin and in support of Donald Trump. Evan McMullin is an open borders amnesty supporter. Evan has two mommies. His mother is a lesbian married to another woman. Evan is okay with that. Indeed, Evan supports the Supreme Court ruling legalizing gay marriage. Evan is over 40 years old and is not married and doesn't even have a girlfriend. I believe Evan is a closet homosexual. Don't vote for Evan McMullin. Vote for Donald Trump. He will respect all women and be a president we can all be proud of. I paid for this ad through the American National Super PAC. 213-718-3908.
What in the high school cafeteria?
Girl.
Evan has two mommies. Evan doesn't have a girlfriend.
And that's Evan's fault that he has two mommies. And second of all, whenever these Republicans come hard like this, particularly with the gay, as an insult, I'm just going to go ahead and say that guy's gay. And it'll come out maybe in a year and a half from now that he's probably been putting some kids, some guys through college and having sex with them. It always happens.
I cannot believe that was real.
Yeah. Well, that same guy had done a previous robocall. It wasn't against, Evan at the time because he wasn't a spoiler at that time. But he was also elected to be a delegate to the Republican National Convention for the summer. But they ended up finding out and ended up being a big thing. And so he got uninvited or asked not to do it. But he's done this a couple times. He's not new to the rodeo.
Wow.
Yeah, the KKK's national paper.
For Evan.
Yeah, the official newspaper of the KKK, which I didn't even know the KKK had an official newspaper. News to me. Endorsed Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like I think that.
And they're passing
you're doing it
papers
wrong
here in Georgia. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have David Duke down in Louisiana, running for Senate. Like I think a lot of people are underselling how much this is different. This isn't.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say when I went to our homecoming recently, and I forget because I live, even though I don't live in Atlanta, I live about, 45 minutes outside of the city. I forget about the rest of Georgia. So when I was driving through Georgia to get to Florida and saw all the Trump billboards and then saw like underneath it sponsored by the League of the South. And I mean, all this stuff, I really, they are blatant about it, like all the KKK, whatever. And then right beneath that, the League, because the League of the South, like I went to their little website and, I was like, whoa, this shit is real. Like they have committees and official newsletters and, all this stuff. So yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
But this is what we've been telling people, for years. This kind of reminds me of like, I forgot what show it was. And it was a black person and they told this white person, it was the OJ Simpson thing when Darden said dude was racist, and Marsha Clark didn't believe it because she wasn't seeing things like that. What Donald Trump has helped to do is show that we've been right all along. We knew the guy in the queue beside us was a racist. He didn't have to call us no nigger. We knew he was sexist. He didn't have to like run up and grab women in the vagina or anything like that. We already knew, but y'all were able to turn a blind eye to what we were telling you in the beginning.
Yeah, the reason why these white nationalists have come out and the reason why they're so bold and it's not to say that they never supported Republicans in the past. You know, some of them haven't, but a lot of them have, and they just did it quietly. But they haven't been this bold is because they've never had a candidate like Trump who literally plays and said. And the thing that makes me so mad is they've come out and said this. Like, why are you supporting Donald Trump? Well, because he says the things that we've been wanting him to say. That we've been wanting. We've been waiting for a candidate like Donald Trump to finally go out there and go to Washington and do everything we've said. David Duke said the same thing. It's like David Duke's was even okay with Donald Trump finally denouncing him. Because he even said it flat out. He was like, listen, he's got to do what he has to do to win. I'm fine with that. Like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, he's literally telling you that he knows that Trump denouncing him, which is a kind of like, well, I got to do it because so hint, wink, wink, no, I'm gonna kind of just do it on the side, but I still got you. That's what's going on, and we've seen this. Like, this is something this is the governor. This is Governor Deal down in Georgia. He's giving a speech on. I think it was giving a speech on educators in the state, and this is what he said.
Yes.
I don't hear anything.
Me neither. But I know what he said.
You said what?
We can't hear it.
Oh, you guys can't hear it?
No.
That's weird. Oh, this is him basically saying colored people. He called us colored people.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
and that his wife said that she knew by the time they were 6th grade who was going to prison and who wasn't.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it right here.
He said that in the past too.
Oh yeah, you once said during a panel discussion, my wife tells me that she could look at her 6th grade class and tell which ones were going to prisons, which ones were going to college.
And that's teaching. She's teaching the babies. Look at there.
Yeah.
This is governor of a state, people. This governor of a state. Governor of a state.
The emperor has no clothes.
Governor of the complete state. Like they become so. But here's another one. Let's see. What was that one? It's sad that I have so many. Right. White nationalists to hand out drugs and liquor to keep blacks from voting at the polls, from voting polls. As election day is approaching, white nationalists are planning to come out in force to watch polls and to try to keep non-Trump supporters home. Neo-Nazi leader Andrew England and his website, The Right Stuff, have said they will set up poll watchers in all 50 states and bragged about setting up hidden cameras in Philadelphia. They also said they would hand out marijuana and liquor in the ghetto to try to induce voters in minority neighborhoods to stay home.
It's like, it's all crazy. They're also not the white people, but just whoever, voter suppression people, trying to tell people that they can vote from home, just text.
Oh, I saw that one.
Text your vote to Hillary. And they put that on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's funny how that's not, Trump doesn't say anything about that being rigging elections or anything like that. It's funny that that's not rigging elections. I actually saw the day because I think it was Ohio had the federal judge basically told them that he has to give a restraining order against him in his campaign for basically telling his supporter to go out there and intimidate voters. He apparently filed an appeal to that. Officially filed an appeal to that. Just
well, the thing is, you can't tell white men no. So, or white people in general, they don't like for you to tell them they can't do something. So clearly that judge is wrong or doesn't understand how this works. Yeah, you can't tell white men no. So I mean, they need to get that together.
Yeah. It's just so like ridiculous.
Insane.
It's
America.
Just so insane.
And that leads me to my little problematic rant. I know I'm gonna get people emailing me telling me that I had a breakdown. I guess it's either Wednesday or Thursday on Facebook, right? And I've gotten to the point where and I was trying to go an entire election cycle and not do it, but this is just the wrong one to do this in. And maybe one day we'll have a normal election where like one side just isn't like literally nominating a white supremacist, and I can go through and allow people to feel this way. But it's just the whole thing about not voting, right? And I've been trying for the longest since January. I've been really trying to understand the folks who tell me they don't vote and they're not going to vote. And what's been driving me crazy is it's the logic behind it. Like I've had people tell me, well, you're not going to win any people with this argument by insulting these people and shaming them and not voting. Fine. Give me a reason. Give me a legit reason that makes sound logical sense as to why you wouldn't vote. Because every time I see it, it comes down to people making this, and I think it's a really, again, this is open discussion time. I think this is a really, really, we're selling ourselves and everything short when we make a binary choice of, there are lesser of two evils. Voting for Hillary is a lesser evil of Donald Trump. And I'm like, you can break down any choice, I guess, to that. If I like fried chicken, but we don't have fried chicken, but there's pizza and, I don't know, hamburgers. Well, shit, I'll pick a hamburger then. Lesser of two evils, right? Just fucking hamburger. Or actually, no, that's wrong. No, if one's a bucket of shit and one's a pizza. There you go. A pizza with anchovies, right? And I don't like anchovies. I got a pizza with anchovies or it's a bucket of shit. Well, yeah, I don't really like anchovies, but it's still pizza, still food. Yeah, I'll eat that. That's not a lesser of two evils. That kind of that's. I feel like I keep seeing, like, I've had so many arguments with, and I've been trying not to do this. Like, I don't know if anybody else does this. You have you're on Facebook and you have a friend who says something. No, your friend doesn't say anything wrong. Your friend makes a very logical thing, has this, and then you go and you see somebody that they're friends with comments on their status, and you're reading it and you just go, but that's wrong. But that doesn't make any sense.
Well, wait a minute. I hate to blame the victim on this one, but let me just stop you right there. So. You know how Facebook works.
I know.
That's the end of my statement.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you know what? I'm partly to blame here. And another thing, too, is I probably, because this always happens like when I first wake up in the morning, I probably should stay right off of fucking Facebook first thing in the morning. So I wake up, I get the phone, I look on Facebook, and and by the time you look at Facebook, you already realize it's too late, right?
Right.
Because then you go, God damn it, I can't unsee that. So then you see it, and I'm just sitting there stewing going, no, Chris, you're not going to respond. You're going to see that? That's stupid, but not going to respond. Right? So you go brush your teeth, you take a shower, then you go back to your phone, and you don't realize that you didn't actually close out Facebook. So you open your phone up, Facebook is there, but you see that person who said something stupid has now responded again, not to you, but because you haven't responded yet, to somebody else who had a logical explanation, a logical statement, with something even more ridiculous. So now you're sitting there going, but that's even more wrong than the first statement they made. And next thing you know, you have the comment now. That happens to me all the time. And, like, when people say this stuff, lesser of two evils, she does this and this, that, and like, the statement I hate the most is, and I, look, I admit as somebody who used to think this way, and I can just say I was just flat out wrong. You hear people say, Hillary Clinton is the most crooked and most lying politician of all time. And I'm like, you guys do realize that George W. Bush and his administration went on TV and told America that waterboarding wasn't torture.
Yeah.
Like, that happened. Like, we went into a whole country, invaded a whole country for a war, and they lied about WMDs. Like, that actually happened. You're telling me that
but he didn't have a vagina.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah,
I think for me too is that when I see the people, because I saw a couple of people, saying they weren't going to the polls, lesser two evils bullshit. But it says more to me about their knowledge of how things work in general than them making this grand statement like they're actually doing something. Because you still have local elections that are going on. Like in my town, we have the coroner, we have judges, we have a DA. I mean, we have all these things and the sheriff, where if, let's say, something happens where a black kid gets shot, and what happens next after that? But you didn't go to the polls to vote, so all the people who are in charge of that, basically what happens in that process and what ends up being the outcome, that could have been affected by you casting your vote, even Clinton and Trump aside. Mm-hmm. But you decide to sit on Facebook and talk about you weren't going to the polls because you didn't want to vote for Trump or Clinton. Like, I automatically just start hiding people when I see that.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to know anything else about what they think about anything. I don't want to know what flavor Girl Scout cookies like, at that point. So, yeah.
Well, and all of it is so much of what is happening right now, just even in the past several years, I think, can trace it to just a lack of civic knowledge everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, like, even the discussions people have about even some of the brinksmanship and all the bullshit that's been going on in Congress, and the way the general population talks about it or doesn't talk about it, or criticizes the president or whatever, it's all kind of based in this, I clearly don't understand at all how things work, and so I have all these opinions about something that's not even factually accurate. And so I spent a lot of time actually really thinking about, because I think ultimately it's really dangerous. It's stressful right now to just kind of see just on social media all the, the arguments and the trolling or whatever. But just aside from that, in real life, I do think over time, because we see how things are starting to grind to a halt. We see that the president nominated a Supreme Court justice that people just acted like it didn't even happen.
It didn't happen.
That's a whole branch that they are, started to slow down. We see legislation that never came up, even stuff like the Zika virus, where it was over 200 days between the time that it was a request for funding to support it and the time that they could actually decide to pass a bill for it, not for any other reason other than, well, we're not going to bring this up until these other things. It's like, but people on the outside, they just see that nothing's happening and they don't know who to blame. They just make things up. And I just think that we have to do or figure out a way to engage the public in a conversation that they can actually learn civics again and take a serious interest in the way things work so that we can have better choices and see better outcomes. It's okay if you don't agree with every decision that a politician makes. It's okay if you don't want to have tea with them, but we do need to understand how shit really works and see what we can do. So then, like Sojo says, when something bad happens, you're blaming the wrong actors, and then you make a new set of decisions based on the fact that you misunderstood that you caused this challenge in the first place. So I think it's dangerous and unfortunate.
You're so hopeful. I don't trust that people, I feel like people have a vested interest in staying stupid. Like I don't think most people want to be, they don't want to be corrected or learn anything that goes against their foundational belief of bullshit.
Yeah, see, that's where I got angry. I want to be hopeful. And I was trying to be understanding, and I was trying to, like I said, I went on the angry message, and I had some people tell me, oh, well, you're not going to win any of these voters over who vote third party or who do this over when you do this if you just insult them. And I'm like, because because they're not trying to listen anyway. And that's where I've gotten to. Like, it'd be one thing if we were going to have a legit conversation, and I could have a legit conversation with people who say they're not going to vote for president this year, and it would make logical sense. But what happens is, and I think that the problem with people who say this to me is it's never practical and it's never logical, because what it is they become what we always hate on the right, which is they become single issue voters. Mm-hmm. So it becomes when you're a single issue voter, you can always find a reason not to vote.
Right.
And if you're looking, and if you're spending so much time looking for reasons not to vote, you're never going to vote. And because you're looking for a negative, that's always going to be there because a politician was always going to be that way. It's just, you're never going to find, and I say this all the time, not just in American politics, human history. There's never been a politician or a government that's been 100% right. If it was, that'd be utopia. Like, we never have a problem. So that never has existed, and it never will exist. I see people all the time. They're like, hey, you know what? Why don't black people go out and form their own political party? I'm like, yo, listen, all right, cool. So when we do that, are we including the Hoteps? Because listen, we can form a party of black people, but it's all black people. Do we include the Hoteps? Because I don't fuck with them niggas, yo. Do we include the misogynists? Do we include the homophobes? I mean, that's a legit question, right?
No, Chrissy, let me just solve this for you. This is where we have to have a test. See, and if you score Hotep, you can't get your voter card.
Oh, but see now that's a poll tax.
That's a poll tax.
You can't do that.
Hotep poll tax.
There's a Hotep poll tax.
I didn't say it wasn't a poll tax.
But that's my thing. It's like when I feel like every time I've talked to somebody or I've seen an argument with somebody who proud, and they're always so proud of it, and that irks the fuck out of me. By the way, they're always so proud about not voting and I'm doing, and they feel like the smugness comes off, and like, I'm not voting because I'm morally superior and I know more than you do. I know I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton because her husband and they are the reason why we have more. They increase the amount of incarceration for blacks and Latinos and blah blah. I'm like, but they weren't the only ones.
And what the fuck do you think is going to happen next?
Well, no.
Like, what do you think is going to happen if you don't vote? Like, do you think that that's going to get any better? Like, watch Netflix has 1 million documentaries on all of this shit. This is what happens. This is a cycle. So you deciding to sit down and act superior about it isn't doing anything revolutionary.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing at all.
You're not. So your idea is not. And then again, they say that, and I'm like, but you do realize in this campaign, she's called for an end of for-profit prisons. She's talked about her role in disproportionately targeting Black and Latino voters, and she has a plan out there. And now it might not be what you want. It might not be as far as you want to go. We can let's have that discussion. But at least she's talking about that, right? The other side's not like. So I don't understand like how you can focus on one part of it, but not the hey, I was wrong for this, and here's what I plan on doing it. Like, we can't get to the part where we don't allow people to grow and learn and change. Like, that's not how you get progress. If our idea is you're only going to be able to deal with the most pure people that have never been problematic,
that is never going to happen.
Yo, you're never going to find the next
your own family.
You're looking
looking for people who, like I said earlier, are vested in themselves, not changing their own minds. So, that's the world they live in. So if Hillary was bad Thursday, she is bad Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because, the way they think, once they think something, they double down on it. And America encourages you to double down on it.
I'll give you
you said a word. America does encourage you to double down on your bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It does, but it's still, what is the end game? That's still my whole thing. It's like, ultimately, if you decide, well, I'm not going to vote, and I'm not going to do a protest vote, I'm not going to do this, I am going to do that. Like, whatever it is you decide, what is your personal, what do you think your end game is? Or if everybody did like you, or a majority of people, you could swing people to do this thing, whatever it is. What is the end game? Because even if we look at the current two candidates that have the most likelihood of actually winning, so of course there's others, it's like, even if you're like, well, I was a Bernie supporter, and because she's not far enough to the left, I'm not going to vote for her. Well, the problem is then you're also ceding the possibility of having a progressive Congress or a more progressive Congress that at least gets us closer to potentially enacting some version of some of the policies that you're interested in. But when you just cede the whole thing, then you're like, well, since I can't have anything, not even a step or a turn in the direction that I'm interested in, fuck it, we're just gonna go all the way in the other direction. Like,
But
that
even-
just
I
doesn't
feel
make
like
sense.
the end game, they haven't thought about an end game. I
Right.
feel like the end
They
game for
have
them is to post a status. Like that is the end game, to publicly
That's-
announce it.
I'll give them.
And that's it.
I'll give them something better. I think their end game is to have certain things, and hey, like the end game is to end police brutality and prisons. Cool, that's fine, right? That can be a great end game. The problem is there's a lot of steps in between there, and at some point,
I mean, what's the end game for the steps they've chosen?
right?
Right,
exactly.
and those steps don't lead to ending police brutality.
Right,
No, they don't.
and at some point, those steps have to go through a government. They
Right.
have to go through
Exactly.
a president. You're not going to get that under President Trump. You're not going to get that under a Republican
the law
Congress.
and order candidate
right.
who wants people who are have already been shown to not be guilty to just they should be sentenced and murdered anyway.
It's one of those things that, again, you become a single issue voter, and if you're looking for a reason not to vote, you'll find it. But it's become so tunnel visioned, they don't see anything else. And I've been trying to respect that, but I can't. Like, even, I mean, you mentioned, you'll have someone go, well, you know what, I'm not going to vote for president this year, but I'm going to vote down the rest of the ballot. I'm like, but wait, those same people you're voting for are also Democrats, which you swear that Hillary Clinton being a Democrat means the Democratic Party don't care about. So who the fuck are you voting for? Like, I had somebody the other day was talking to me, and they were like, listen, I'm supporting Jill Stein, blah, 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 and Hillary Clinton, she just proved she's a politician. I'm like, you do realize Jill Stein's a politician too, right? It's like the argument I had with Bernie Sanders support. I'm like, wait, you don't like Hillary Clinton because she's a politician, but Bernie Sanders has literally been in the government for 30 fucking years. Like,
But they hadn't heard of him until recently.
Right.
See?
it's the thing that it irks me so much, and I'm like, you're so proud and so smug. Go, I'm not doing this, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I love the people that go, well, it's not going to change anything, and I'm like, that's bullshit. Again, I go back to 2000. A year later was 9/11, and that changed every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It changed every fucking thing. Like, we had, like, it again, not to say that there wasn't Islamophobia before, but it literally kicked off the most worst Islamophobia shit we've seen. Like, are you kidding me? You had Gitmo, you had the Abu Ghraib stuff. Like, you had all this stuff going on. You literally had a president going, if you're not with me, you're against me. Like, you had this shit going on, and that happened within a year. Don't tell me that doesn't change anything. You had, like, people complain about the drones and Hillary Clinton is too hawkish, and even Barack Obama's too hawkish for my taste, and he did the drones. Like, George W. Bush had 2 wars. Not drone wars, not small like engagements and having, special forces in like a small force of 10,000. No, we had 2 full-blown I declare war wars. 2 of them. All right? 2 of them. 2 of them.
We're still working through
and
the
we're still
outcomes of those right now.
Y'all are assuming that most people know about those things and have used them to factor into their decision. When I very rarely go back to Michigan, I am reminded that the stuff that we care about here in and around the Beltway, or even in educated and not necessarily college spaces, but in when I say educated spaces, I mean spaces that are full of people who are paying attention to current events. That's not a lot of the world. That's not a lot of the country. That's not a lot of the people.
Well, that's why it goes back to my original point in teaching civics and encouraging civic engagement. People don't know. They aren't paying attention. I think that's true. And so I think that that's something that we should actively work to fix.
Part of me wonders, though, too, is that do those people even necessarily care about, like you can say, okay, let's go back to civics because it's a great idea. But then how many of them even actively want to learn about it?
But here's my thing.
They want to learn about it because they don't know. I mean, I think it's a circular issue. Like, I don't care about those things because I don't realize how they affect every aspect of my life. once I start to realize, oh, this thing is affected by that thing, this is affected by that thing, then I'll start to care, even if I don't know the word civics, even if I'm not telling you, I'm teaching you how things work. I'm just showing you how your life is being affected by decisions, and how if you made different decisions, you could affect your life differently.
Here's the thing, though. I won't even. I say we to me, it's not even about civics. Yeah, you're right. We have a huge problem with people understanding civics in this country, and that's just across the board. Like, people, we're idiots on that. Like, just as a people. To me, it's even simpler than that. To me, it's just direct logic. All right, if you don't like if you don't like Obama and the drones, and you don't like what Hillary Clinton's proposing in Syria and things like that, all right, cool, I get that, but you do realize that the reason why they're making those decisions and we're having to do that is a direct result of George W. Bush winning the presidency and being in Iraq and Afghanistan for 2 terms, right? Like, that's where that came. Like that's where that came from. So, like, you can stand the reason that possibly if George W. Bush wasn't president, we probably never would have gone to at least Iraq. At least one. And Iraq is where we get ISIS. It's where you get Syria. It's where you get all the shit coming from. You get it from there.
That's the thing, Chris,
so it's like
some of them don't care that we went to Iraq because they still think that Iraq attacked us.
No, I'm not even talking about. Like people that those are basically Republicans. Those are people that really believe. I'm talking about the people that today that are all like, we don't like I'm voting for Jill Stein because she's going to pull all our troops out of wars in other countries. I'm like, one, that's never going to happen. That's just a promise that she can never keep. All right, that involves so much to do that, and it literally would at this point make things fall apart. I know other people. You say that we should never have been there. Fine, but the reason why we were there are literally because we went into Iraq, and we went into Iraq because George W. Bush was president. Like, that is what happened. You can't. Like, I don't understand these people who want to cut off half the conversation. Like, I have no problem having. Hey, if you don't want to vote and you have a solid reason not to, I would love to hear it, but I don't hear it. I hear always half a conversation. I hear things like, well, she called us super predators. All right, cool. So did your mama. Your mom did. My mom did. My dad did. Like, people forget this. Yo, other black people supported that shit.
People did. They supported the whole.
You're not disowning your parents because of that shit, right? But you're only holding it against her because it's convenient and because you can do it. There's no logic behind. You're not really mad about it, because if you really were, you'd be mad at your parents. You'd be mad at all the other politicians. Be mad at that voted. You'd be mad at Bernie Sanders because even though he's supposed to get it, he still voted for it
at the time.
Right. Like, that's my problem. It's like, people say that this is the stuff and they want to have these conversations. Like, all of a sudden now it's the Haiti thing. Like, oh, they messed up Haiti. Motherfucker, you didn't care about Haiti until like a couple months ago. Like, you didn't. And like, it's not alone. You're over here giving to the Red Cross. Like, it drives me literally insane to hear people say this shit and do this with no logic. Like, I tell people all the time, whether you're white, black, or whatever, my argument for why not voting is stupid, it had nothing to do with our ancestors died for it. Had nothing to do with caping for cancer or anything like that. My argument is very simple. 2 to 3 Supreme Court judges. That's it. 2 to 3 Supreme Court judges are going to be picked by the next president. Now, you can go with Donald Trump, who says he wants judges like Scalia, who was a racist, or you can go with Hillary Clinton, who's clearly going to be to the left. That's it. And when people sit there and go, oh, it doesn't really matter who's president, they're both the same, I'm like, Supreme Court judges tell me you're wrong. You are completely wrong. Like, people want money out of campaign finance reform and all this other stuff. We got Citizens United because George W. Bush was president and appointed conservative judges. Like, you cannot, like, that's what makes me so angry when people say they're both the same. It's lesser of two evils. No, the fuck they're not. They're not.
Because they're basing it on personality.
Right.
And what they heard and
conspiracy theory.
The memes that they've seen that are made up. And you can see that just on Twitter, just when you respond with facts and they give you a picture and a fake quote at the bottom.
Like I said,
Like,
yeah. It's you're looking for a reason not to vote. And I'll be honest, and this is what's going to get me in trouble, I think it's cowardly. I do. I think it's cowardly because you're not even trying. Like, I've never seen anybody legit try. They always find something and they pick one issue that the candidate isn't good on. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can do that with any of us. You can always find an issue where some of, like, I'll use myself. I remember years ago, I had no understanding of transgender issues. No understanding. Very ignorant on them. I got better. I've moved as I learned. I've moved more to understanding. It's like if you don't give people and work with people that you see are movement. And to me, when I hear people talk about Hillary Clinton, and I'm saying this as somebody who said back last year I wasn't going to be able to vote for her. After seeing the campaign and what she's done and what she's talking about, I'm impressed. I'm like, she's talked about issues that people wanted Obama to talk about his first term, and he couldn't and didn't. She's talking about those issues in a campaign and has not moved to the center. I don't see how anybody can actually hear what she's saying and go, oh, no, she's just like the Republican. You know, it's like when people go, oh, well, you know, Obama didn't do anything for black people. I'm like, well, that's not true either. It's like, if you only focus on the negative, because there are negatives. There are a lot of negatives. Always will be negatives. Then, yeah, you'll find that stuff. But are you telling me that, you know, him picking Eric Holder as the Attorney General wasn't a positive move? Didn't help any? You know, do you think the DOJ under Romney would have investigated the Ferguson Police Department?
That's the thing. They don't go back to consider what the alternative would have been.
Nope.
I mean, we literally have, and again, it's not to say that Holder or Loretta Lynch have always been 100% right in everything they've done. So, and no problem if you drop off, it's fine. Okay. If that happens, you know, well, let me say, if Lynch and Holder have not always been right, but does an Attorney General under Romney or McCain, do any of them literally go to court and sue a state for transgender rights? Like, I don't think even people understand, like we undersell, like, how much we had a president who didn't openly support gay marriage at the beginning of his term in 2008.
He really didn't.
Right. Not only did he then come out, I think right before the second term, and supported gay marriage, he ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and did other stuff. Like, I think people don't understand the snowball effect that happened right there. We didn't even really have a discussion about transgender rights. Mm-mm. They immediately went to, we're going to sue a state when this law comes up. Like, it wasn't even a hesitation. It's like, to tell me that that's not progress is insane. It is the opposite of rational thought. Because, like, any other time, that becomes a conversation. It's like, oh, we'll see. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know about this transgender thing. We'll look into it and maybe it'll happen. No, they immediately went to, oh, no, we're suing the state. Like, you can't do that. That is wrong. That's huge progress. And that helps not just white, it's black. It's a lot of people that helps. Like, you can't tell me the progress we made on those issues are there. You can't tell me that, you know, isn't it the Eric Holder, aren't they, the DOJ looking to, aren't they about to prosecute the officer who killed Eric Holder? I mean, not Eric Holder, Eric Gardner?
Eric Gardner. I think they are. Like, again, that doesn't happen under McCain and Romney. It might not go anywhere. They might not be able to get it, but that's still progress. When people say nothing has happened, it just irks me because it's so wrong. So wrong. And it's an overabundance of information to show you how wrong that is. I just can't see how someone can imagine a Trump presidency and be okay with that. Mm-hmm. Like everything you just said,
forget, what has happened in the past or whatever, and what would have happened under a Romney presidency, but imagine moving forward these things with the Trump presidency.
Well, you said one of my favorite words, which is imagine, which is, a personal thing of mine that I feel we aren't good at, societally speaking. I think that's why people have so much pushback about trying to join the knowledge economy and or change unsustainable jobs for sustainable jobs and learn new things. I just think people can't imagine something different or completely different or radically different. And so I don't think they try. I think people are anti-information and anti-imagination and like to stay kind of stuck in a tunnel comfort zone where everything is always the same or only moves in these incremental spaces. They can't see beyond the way things are. So I don't think that they would try to imagine negatively or positively. They just feel like they kind of attribute a feeling and then just keep going with that feeling, whether the feeling is anger or whether the feeling is hope or whatever. It's no thought, it's no visual image. It's just, kind of mindless emotion, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey, hold on real quick. I'm gonna mute it.
Okay.
So so here's one of the things. There's a perfect example of this. One of the things I cannot wait until this election is over with. I cannot wait for Killer Mike to go back to me never caring a fuck about him. So here goes his Instagram, right? Hold on. Attention, black folk. If you see your leaders, teachers, elected officials, entertainers, and athletes with any party asking for your vote and they offer you nothing by the way of jobs, weed decriminalization he says it ends stop and frisk by proxy. Bullshit, by the way. Allows former felons into a growing marijuana business like they did with bootlegging whiskey after prohibition alcohol. Federal prosecution of cops, qualified black...
there we go.
We got it back on? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Federal prosecution of killer cops, qualified black woman and man on the Supreme Court. That's 2 seats, not 1. Restoration of Voter Rights Act and land grants and federal support of black farmers. Then stay the fuck home, get something or give nothing. Well, that's more than like... So first of all, I believe for a lot of these, these are on Hillary Clinton's plans. So there's that. So that is, so you're listing things that Hillary Clinton says. Some of the stuff you're listing that your own candidate Bernie Sanders didn't promise. So I find that interesting because I don't remember Bernie Sanders saying that he would put a qualified black man or black woman on the Supreme Court. I don't remember him mentioning that. Matter of fact, I remember him running away from black people in the South, if I remember correctly. So, I don't understand this. And land grants and federal support for black farmers. Hey, that's great. But you do realize there's more people of color than just black people.
Yes.
So there's that too. And the biggest one to me is his whole weed decriminalization in stop and frisk. Bullshit. It does not. Weed decriminalization that does not end stop and frisk by proxy. They'll find some other reason.
Ask New York.
Yeah, they'll find something else.
Like that's not how that fucking works at all. Like, what are you? Like, this is what I can't stand. I can't stand shit like this where it literally makes no sense. And you're literally. I saw something else today. I was like, because Hillary, Beyonce and Jay-Z came out and been campaigning supporting Hillary Clinton. So here goes your fake revolutionary black people on Twitter going, you can't. She uses Black Panther imagery in her songs, stuff like that, but then is going to support Hillary Clinton. You can't do both. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, how fucking full of yourself are you? You probably choked down fucking Chick-fil-A fucking milkshakes as you write that bullshit. You are a hypocritical piece of shit. Like, I'm tired of people acting like they are the moral superior revolutionaries because they do everything not problematic. You support something problematic too. You do.
And that's the thing. Like, there is nothing that is pure.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. But we get on these, like you just said, moral superiority complexes, all ego driven, to where I've got to be the one who has said the best quote of the day or tweet of the day or Facebook status of the day or, whatever. Like, that's the part that's annoying to me and I check out of every single time.
Like, So let me get this straight. You don't wear Nikes because you make your own fucking shoes, apparently. Right. You're not using smartphones because who knows where they get fucking made. Or the toxicity that comes from that. Are you telling me, hey, at this point, you might as well tell me you're not living in America because all of this land is stolen anyway from Native Americans. So it's like, what the fuck are we even doing at this fucking point, man? Again, when you always looking for something and you're at this point, it's almost like they don't want to hear us shaming people that don't vote, right? But at the same time, then you get this shit. The people that do vote are sellouts. You know? The people that do are what the fuck, man? What limit? So now all of a sudden Beyonce isn't good enough? So who is?
Well, they've been looking for reasons for why Beyonce wasn't good enough for eons. So I mean,
wait, did somebody go off? Who was that? Did we lose?
Mark.
Oh, we lost Mark.
It's just they're searching, huh?
No, go ahead.
You went out for a second. Go ahead.
I was just saying that they are searching for excuses in the daytime with a flashlight. Any excuse they can use to find negativity, they're gonna find it.
Yeah, it drives me crazy because I'm like, well, I know I can find something that you support and are on that bullshit. Like it goes back to my thing when people go, well, why can't we just get black people can't get their own fucking party? I'm like, because we're not all the same anyway.
Exactly.
First of all, you're ignoring the fact that the Democratic Party has gotten all black, and then, again, we always find ways to denounce that, right? I remember there's an article I shared. There was one article, and if you haven't, I'll make sure I put it in the show notes. It's from Elle Joy. I'm gonna try to get Elle Joy on next month, but she did Black Women Vote, where she had a bunch of black women who talk about their reasons for voting in this election and why it's important, and things like that. I highly recommend you check it out. There's another article I'd done where we were talking about the black women that are behind Hillary Clinton's campaign, right? And I remember putting it on Twitter, and I just shared it. I didn't put any commentary on it, just shared it. And you can see when other people, and it was public, so you can see when other people shared. So somebody shared and was like, so she's just pandering to get our votes. And I'm just like, wait a minute. So what you've created is a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario for Hillary Clinton. If she didn't have any black women or any black people in her campaign or behind her campaign, you would say that she was shutting black women out, and you would use that as a reason not to vote for her. Now that she is, you're saying that she's pandering, and she's only doing it to get our vote, and so you won't vote for her then. You've created a no-win scenario where no matter what she does, you're not going to vote for her. The issue isn't her, it's you.
It's you. It's always. Mm-hmm. That's it.
You've now painted it drives me crazy that we've always talked about how, and I was always interested in what was going to happen in this election after Barack Obama, because Obama was going to get the black vote. He did speak to black people and black issues, but he was going to get that black vote, right? Mm-hmm. I was always wondering if we got a non-person of color, how they would address his coalition. And we had Bernie Sanders go, I'm going to go back to the white working class voters, which honestly is more in line with what Bill Clinton did and trying to get Bill Clinton voters than it is what Hillary Clinton did with her going to people of color. And she didn't have to do that. She could have gone back to the same voting block that her husband won. She didn't do that. So, but now when she's doing that, she's going out there and she's going to black areas. People are literally going, she's pandering for our votes. So let me get this straight. Would you rather her not go to these areas? Would you rather her not speak to the Black Women's Conference? Would you rather her not go to Flint? And if she didn't do that again, you would say that she's ignoring them. So what do you want? Do you want her to do it, or do you not want her not to do it? I don't know what people want at this point. What is it?
They don't want anything except to complain and be unhappy. Right. I mean, these same people wouldn't notice if Verizon didn't wire their neighborhood for Fios, or if they started getting a whole bunch of commercials, they'd be okay with that, because that's what people do when they want you to buy into things. They advertise. They come to where you are. Hillary's doing the same thing that Fios did when they wanted to take over some of Comcast business. Same deal.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, what do they want? I think it goes back to them not knowing what their end game is.
Right.
Because their end game isn't some of the things that they think it is. Like when you talk about end police brutality or whatever, that's really not their end game, because there's steps aren't aligned with that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point, you have to work, right? You have to work, you know. And I love the argument that, well, no, and I've seen this before. And again, I want people to understand this is not just black people. This is not. I'm gonna get into the hippie white people too to call that shit out in a minute because that shit bothers fucking out of me. But it's like you see people say the reason why I'm not gonna vote is, and I saw Jill Stein, like Jill Stein had her communication director or something like that was talking about how this is what she was gonna do, and you know she was saying something about how they're kind of almost hoping Trump wins because it will start a revolution, and I'm just like. No, it won't. That's not.
No.
That's not what that's gonna do. That's not how that's gonna work. That's not. No, it's not gonna do. It's not gonna cause the revolution you think it's gonna cause. Because you know what? People said the same thing about George W. Bush, and we got 8 years of that. You know that's not how that works. That's not what's gonna happen. You're not gonna get people. Here's the thing: what people don't understand too. Most of us don't want to be in the streets. Most of us don't want. Most of us, you know, you're winning. You think that if you're basically doing the same thing that Donald Trump supporters are saying if he loses, that they're going to go out into the streets, pick up pitchforks and torches, and they're going to storm back and take back their government. Right? 90% of this country doesn't want to do that. We don't. We just want to wake up in the morning, pay attention to our shit, take care of our families, take care of ourselves, and live a normal life. All right. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get the revolution you think you're going to get because most people don't want that shit. It's not going to wake people up. And no, you're going to get 8 years of Trump. It's going to suck. You're going to start all over again from there where you could have just stayed with what you got, keep going down the course you're going, which is moving in the direction you want to move to. Maybe not the pace you want, but it's definitely not going back. Like Trump, like, again, you saw what white supremacists are doing. They're doubling down. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to have to deal with the white guy who is so empowered he'll literally call me nigger and think nothing will happen of it. Like I'm
right.
I'm not interested in that. I don't no. I just it drives me crazy that people think that that's what's going to happen. That somehow magically people are going to wake up one day and just stop. You know, oh yeah, we just got to wake up and all we got to do is vote third party. I'm like, first of all. You know, if the only third party candidates you have are president, you know there's a whole other branch of government, right? Actually, a whole other 2 branches of government that you don't have control over. You know, which means now you're going to have if Trump wins, that more than likely means that the Republicans keep the Congress, and they get to nominate more that means all three branches. Plus, it also probably means governor races, which means they stay in the state houses. It makes it worse. Just factually makes it worse.
It does. I mean, that's one thing that people were trying to criticize Hillary for was the extreme number of fundraisers she was having. But the truth is, a lot of them were because she's trying to make sure that the down ballot tickets all have some funding. She was doing fundraisers on behalf of everybody else because she knows that it's not just the branches at the top or at the federal level, but we got to have the state houses too. Like that's important. Like all those, everything is important.
Well, so. Yeah, it goes back to what the problem with Bernie Sanders was. Wasn't until April they actually decided to endorse other progressive candidates for Congress. Like, motherfucker, how are you planning on getting half your shit done if you don't even have a plan of people to put around you to help? Which leads me to the yuppie-ass white people who think that and I see a lot of this, well, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton, crooked Hillary Clinton. I'm going to vote third party. I'm going to vote Johnson or I'm going to vote Stein and stuff like Get over your fucking selves.
That's what Angela Davis said. People got mad at her. Who? But, what's interesting, okay, because I am a person who, if I wasn't also realistic, and I wasn't paying attention to the candidate, the Green Party platform just on its face aligns with a lot of things that I believe in. Mm-hmm. However, I, also live in reality and support common sense and a knowledgeable candidate. And we don't have any of those things in the current Green Party offering. I would be a fan of a really strategic effort to grow the Green Party at the grassroots, because I do think that there's probably a lot of opportunities for Green candidates in local elections to change the conversation around single issues or smaller issues, just to start to develop a base and a bench moving toward a federal candidacy. But right now, I'm just kind of, I'm just going to vote for this party over there just to make some kind of a statement that I'm not going to really actually make it. I mean, I don't know.
Imagine sometimes as an adult, you have to say now is not the time. I mean, you know, like I agree with a lot with everything that Lady Buddha just said, but today is not the day.
And to answer the inevitable comeback to that, which is when is 8 years ago when you could have grown a Green Party at the local level.
You know when is November 9th, when you can start right away building toward 2020. You can start right now getting stuff together and being serious about it if you are serious about it.
Any bets on how much they don't do that though? And that's my problem. It's like what I love is like when I see these yuppie ass white folks on some, I can never vote for Clinton. I'm going to vote for Stein. You can't tell me any other way, blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourself, because you know what? End of the day, it doesn't really affect you. You know what? If Donald Trump becomes fucking president and puts like Scalia-type judges to the bench, you know who's going to suffer the most? We are. Black people. You know what? He's calling for a national fucking stop and frisk. Guess who he's not stopping and frisking? Your white ass. I'm tired of hearing this shit, yo. Oh, well, she's too bad. She's Crooked Hillary. It doesn't affect you. One of the greatest lines I love in the new Doctor Strange movie is when the Ancient One turns to Doctor Strange and goes, one thing you've never learned is it's not about you. And that's what I need these liberal-ass white folks who are doing all this shit to understand. It's not just about you. And, I mean, it's just, when you have a privilege, sometimes you have to realize what your privilege is and that you voting and what you're voting for isn't about you. Listen, honestly, with the privilege I have and the job I have and what I do, honestly, I could be a black Republican. I could be a fucking Ben Carson, yo.
And I would actually say, Chris, I would say people expect you to be a black Republican if they don't know you.
Yeah. If people didn't know me and knew what industry I worked in and knew how much money I made and what I did, I could be a black Republican. You know? Vote for lower because look, I did early voting for the first time yesterday, right? Actually, I think it was Thursday. Did early voting, right? And there were several referendums and things like that I knew were going to raise my taxes. But I did it anyway. Why? Because I'm like, well, you know what? We do kind of need to fix that library, don't we? I don't use a library. I don't. I got Google. You know? I got Google. I don't fucking need a library. I ain't been in the library in fucking forever. But you know what? I know that's good for the community. So you know what? I said, yeah. You know? I don't got fucking kids. I know my taxes go to making sure your fucking kids get the education they fucking need.
Right.
If I wanted to be a jackass, I wouldn't worry about that. But it's not about me. Honestly, no bullshit. If Trump wins, as depressing as it will be, I'm going to tell you right now, even as a black man, I will be okay. Sure, there will be the stop and frisk stuff. There'll be police brutality issues that I'm going to have to fucking deal with. But even as a privileged black man, I will deal with that less than my less privileged black brethren. I will. Right. That's just a fucking fact. All right? I won't be stopped as many times as they will be. You know, I will be looked as one of the good ones. You know, yeah. I can still, you know, come the wrong one and fall into that. But for the most part, I will be okay if Trump wins. I could literally go with that privileged ass bullshit of I'm not going to vote because they're all the same. I could say that shit and be okay. Tell me the truth. I actually do better. I actually do better with Republicans. I do, because you know what? Like during the I'm in the defense industry, so yeah, under Bush, it was peak time for us, man. Peak. Mwah. Great. You know what? Never voted for Bush. Never voted for Bush. Why? 'Cause, again, it's not about me. It's not just about me. It's about the community. It's about so many other people out there that I know will be in a worse situation with Trump than with Hillary. It's just a fucking
But see, here's the thing, Chris. White people don't understand our community concern. They vote as an individual and maybe based on their block may be based on their zip code. But when you start saying the stuff that you're saying, like, oh, I do well because I'm in the DC area and I, have more than enough money, yada, 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 they understand the I part of that. But when you in that sentence and you go on to the next paragraph of however my brethren, exactly, they also don't seem, and I think this is one of the things that maybe Kaepernick is helping, they don't seem to want to understand that, yes, just because, we make a decent amount of money, a lot of money or whatever, and we have nice cars, you know what doesn't happen when the police stop you? They don't give a fuck that my car is in my name. They don't give a fuck that how many degrees I have. You are still a black woman. You are still a black man. That with money doesn't actually change that for us. And it also doesn't even change it for us when we live amongst mostly white people. Mm-hmm. And then they love to think and assume that, oh, no, it's just about finance. If you weren't in poor neighborhoods, if you weren't around poor people, you wouldn't be treated as black equal poor. No, that's not the way this works.
Right. And they don't understand having to vote with that, what we call a burden on our shoulders.
Right. It just.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying because I have a belief of but for the grace of God, go I.
I mean, it's just yeah. Like, for instance, everybody, not everybody knows this because some people haven't paid. And you asked me why I get on Facebook. You wonder why I've actually been on Facebook lately? Facebook's actually been really good with information on the protests in Standing Rock and the North Dakota the pipeline protest. Like I've actually gotten more consolidated information on Facebook than Twitter from that. So that's actually what I've kind of been using Facebook for. I get way more information from there. But it's kind of like, I think that both Obama and Hillary's statements on those protests that need a lot of work. Like they've not been their most shining moments. Like they need to do better. I do know that I'd rather have them deal with that and work with them on that and hold them accountable for that than Donald Trump, who right. But besides that, some of these I could never vote for Hillary Clinton white voters. These are the same people that are showing up now in support and are making that protest about them. Are shutting out, indigenous people and the actual people whose lands are being destroyed, shutting them out and making it about them. It's not about you. Sometimes you need to sit back, shut the fuck up, and let listen to people or what people are dealing with, and just support and help. At this point, your whole Jill Stein will do, knowing that she's not going to win, and knowing that not only she's not going to win, the reason why she's not going to win is not because they're conspiracy and we only have a two-party system, because she sucks as a candidate completely. It's just people say you believe Jill Stein, but you won't. You say Hillary Clinton is just words, but so is Jill Stein. She has no way of backing up anything she says because she's not even going to have a Congress to do that. Like, I just don't understand. Well, no, I get the logic. It's like there is no logic. Like you guys have been saying, they don't want to understand.
And that type of white hipster is the type that's always been there from working in the civil rights movement, and not the ones who actually just tried to figure out what was going on and help when they could, but there were some that tried to overshadow the movement and change and make it about themselves. That's the type of personalities that they've always had. They are the revolutionary gentrifiers, kind of. Right. They want to make it about them. So yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, and Trump winning does not, these are not people that, and I think this the other belief that goes to that whole, well, if Trump wins, at least there'll be a revolution. No, because these people don't get to learn. The reason why I think we've made more progress, you made more progress with Obama's 8 terms than you did with Bush's 8 terms, because when you get Bush's 8 terms, it becomes really easy for everyone. Did we lose Smart? Yeah, she'll probably get back on.
I'll add her back.
Okay, it becomes really easy for people to have that common enemy, right? Bush is bad, the wars are bad. Okay, cool, we can all come together on that, right? When you have a president like Obama, yeah, we're here. We got you.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
When you have a president like Obama or even Hillary Clinton, and you're now making progress. You're now dealing with the left space, and you're dealing with what's problematic, and you're dealing with it. If we go back to Trump, we're gonna be having that same battle with the right, and the problematic people on the left are gonna keep skating by, and we're never gonna address it. Like, what we've done over the last 8 years is understand and have the conversation about how problematic some people on the left are. Mm-hmm. If we go back to Trump, we are not going to have that conversation. And that's not progress to me. You're going to have the people, like, one of the most telling moments of Bernie Sanders' campaign, and I don't hold this against him. I think he was being very, very open and honest, is when they were asked about reparations and said that's too divisive. And I'm like, it is, because you have people on the left, his base, white people, who would not be for reparations for black people.
Right.
And we need to have a conversation about that. I don't want to go back to having the same conversations we had in the Bush administration, because we've done that before. Like, I don't want to have the common enemy of Trump, where the person who doesn't want me to have who doesn't understand why black people deserve reparations can ignore that, but I can support this other issue though because it's Trump. We can all come together on that. That's easy. I don't want to have the easy conversations at this point. We need to have the hard conversations. You're not going to have the hard conversations if Trump wins. You're just not. You know, you're not going to have those hard conversations about Black Lives Matter. Remember when Black Lives Matter protesters interrupted Bernie Sanders? That was a wake up call.
Yep.
You're not going to have.
People don't want to have those. They don't even want to have easy conversations, let alone hard ones.
Right. It's easier to have the Trumps are racist because the KKK conversation. Like, yeah, that's the easiest conversation to have. But if Hillary Clinton wins and we're trying to move more to the left and we have to address that stuff, we can make progress on that. Because here's the thing, we've seen her make progress on that. That's not easy for me to say because I didn't think we would, but she has. So, drives me crazy. All right, let's move on. I'm going to play something. I'm going to see if you guys can hear it to make sure. Let's see here. Let's go. You guys have, let's try this. Let's go with this first. You guys have never played the Whiteness Project, have you?
No.
We have never played. Okay, cool. That's smart. Are you going to come back or are you done?
I'm probably done.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But it was fun.
It was fun. Thank you for being on. All right, so Joe, it's going to be you.
Okay.
Just you. You get the Whiteness Project. So
oh, hell.
It'll be fun. So first question before we get to Whiteness Project. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Awesome. You heard the music. So everybody knows this. Everybody's favorite, the Whiteness Project Roulette, where we go through the Whiteness Project. We find, I think we're going to do white colors in Buffalo because we've been doing a lot of the millennials. And you're going to pick, I'm going to read all three. You're going to pick one, and we're going to try to find the one that's the most racist. We're going to see. All right. So let's go through. Oh, no, don't take that away. Did it go away? Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me see if I can find some three that we haven't done yet. Come on. Oh, it's trying to be difficult. All right, let's see. So here's Ken. You're in on some joke almost. There's Ken. Let's see.
Wait, I'm in. Say it. I can't hear you.
He said, you are in on some joke almost. That's
okay.
Ken. Ken, let's see. Kathy says, I have never come across anything that made me aware of my race. There's Kathy. Okay, Kathy. Let's see. There you go. I just don't buy into the nonsense about discrimination. Michael.
That one.
We want good old Michael. Let's see what Michael says.
Your color means absolutely nothing to me.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You're a human being, just like I'm a human being. And I just don't buy into the nonsense about discrimination. I mean, I feel that everybody's equal, and that's the way it should be. I mean, I've worked, the fields I've worked with, whether you be black, whether you be Latino, if you have it upstairs and you really commit to do what you're wanting to do with your life, I don't think that race really has anything to do with anything. You're given, your cards, and it's the way that you play them.
Yeah, there goes.
You're given your cards.
Just good old Michael. Good old Michael. There we go. That's actually a really good one. I just love that aspect of, it must be the inability of some white people to see the privilege in that statement.
Well, first of all, he's talking about you're given your cards, and everybody's cards inherently are not the same. And for black people, we have cards that they'll never get. Mm-hmm. They'll never have those cards dealt to them.
Well, the Irish were slaves here, too. Right?
Oh, hell. Let's not even get on that.
I mean, the Irish, there were Irish slaves, I'm just saying.
Let's not even get on that. Tell me about the Irish Middle Passage.
It was filled with Lucky Charms and and beer. I'm just saying, you don't understand how many leprechauns died coming from Ireland. You just don't understand. I don't understand why you're downplaying this. So yeah, it's just one of those things that's just so annoying to hear, and it's frustrating because again, it goes back to what we were just saying about you hear that kind of things, and we always assume that it's liberals. I mean, that it's the conservatives say that. You hear this from liberals, so-called liberals, like that entire there's a whole segment of the left white liberal movement that is kind of so Occupy Wall Street-ish that they believe that it's literally they believe in trickle-down economics. They just don't understand. They're like, oh well, yeah, if we get it, then you get it, so it's fine. So we're all in this together. I'm like, that's not how that fucking works.
Right.
We've known that.
Or if you approach your freedom this way, then it's gonna work because hey, that's how the system works. That's how our country works. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. All right, I thought this one had a video on it, but it doesn't. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the video. It's gonna be a great moment of white privilege. Let's see. There we go. YouTube. There we go. All right, let's go right into great moments of white privilege. Great moments of white privilege. I know I don't do this live anymore, but if you just imagine every time that song comes on, I take a little sip out of my drink with my pinky in there.
Can you tell? Every time I hear that music, I always burst out laughing. That is just the best. But go ahead.
Yeah. I just pinky in the air, little teacup, and you just it's perfect. It's perfect timing for this. This is Mark Kirk and Tammy Duckworth are having a debate for the Senate. I can't remember what state are they in. This is Illinois, for the Illinois Senate debate. And this was last Thursday. And Mark Kirk had something interesting in a response to Tammy Duckworth, who was talking about her heritage.
And I want to be in the Senate. My family has served this nation in uniform, going back to the Revolution. I'm a daughter of the American Revolution. I've bled for this nation. But I still want to be there in the Senate when the drums of war sound, because people are quick to sound the drums of war, and I want to be there to say, this is what it costs. This is what you're asking us to do. And if that's the case, I'll go. Families like mine are the ones that bleed first. But let's make sure the American people understand what we are engaging in, and let's hold our allies accountable, because we can't do it all.
Senator Kirk, 30 seconds to rebut. I had forgotten that your parents came all the way from Thailand to serve George Washington. Move on to the next question. This is Bernie Schoen.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Wow.
That actually happened. Yeah. Republican Mark Kirk invoked Democrat Tammy Duckworth's ethnicity as she explained her family's military background during a Illinois Senate debate. And if I remember correctly, Duckworth, I believe, is not only a former military herself, but she's I think she got a Purple Heart. Yeah, she lost both her legs fighting in the Iraq War. So he not only said this to a veteran, he said this to a veteran who has literally lost both of her legs.
Oh, God.
Both of her legs in the Iraq War. All right.
Wow.
Duckworth, a veteran who had lost both her legs fighting in the Iraq War, was making a case for having a senator who has fought in war when she detailed her family's lengthy military background. My family has served, you guys heard it. When asked to respond, Kirk appeared to be dismissive of Duckworth's heritage, saying, "I forgot your parents came all the way from Thailand to serve George Washington."
If that ain't wow.
Duckworth was born in Bangkok to a Thai mother and an American father who was a U.S. Marine who traced his family military roots back to the Revolutionary War.
Shut up. So it wasn't even just both her, like her dad wasn't a, wow.
Yeah. So her dad, not only is she a military vet, he's also a former military. Her mother is from Thailand, but her father is, from America and can actually trace his
to the
roots to George Washington.
Revolution, my God.
And the reason why I put this in Great Moments of White Privilege is because he immediately assumes that there's no way this woman, who is of Thai descent, can possibly trace her roots back. Like, this is how blatant white privilege is. You can't even see that we are just as much part of Americans' history as any white man and white woman.
Exactly. And the tone when he just threw out that comment, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, just threw it right out there. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you're not American enough to claim that.
Damn.
That is what we're dealing with. This is how bold Republicans have gotten. Just by the way, before we end this, because I got to say this. Another reason why I just find not being able to vote in this election so just annoying to me is I want Donald Trump to lose so bad on Tuesday. But not just him. I want the Republican Party to suffer for what they've done. You literally have all these cowardly Republican congressmen, mostly congressmen, because most of, there are still some congresswomen out there that are supporting Donald Trump and senators out there, but mostly male white men in the Senate and the House of Representatives who are going, yeah, I find what Donald Trump said about women deplorable, and how I'm going to explain it to my daughter, and then literally 24 hours later, but I'm still voting for him.
Voting for him, right.
I don't endorse Donald Trump and what he's done and what he said, but I'm still voting for him. What a fucking coward. Paul Ryan. This should be the end of Paul Ryan's political hopes and dreams going forward. He should not be able to get anything else. Like, if I hear about him running in 2020, I hope he is destroyed and doesn't make it out of the primaries. Because, fuck you, dude. Mm-hmm. No integrity. I don't want to hear any of these people that vote for Donald Trump. Here's the thing. When the Bushes have more integrity than the rest of their party, come on, man.
When you actually hear black people say, well, damn, Bush really, like, you know where we are as a country when people actually go back and say, well, damn, the Bushes aren't really that bad compared to what's to come.
Right.
Like, when you say that, then you know you're fucked up. You know we're at a point where it's like, what the hell? How did we get here?
When George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush and Jeb Bush, when the Bushes are the moral base and on the moral superiority of the rest of the Republican Party.
The rest of the Republican Party.
That says a lot. I mean, it's incredible. It makes you go, okay, like, yeah, okay, now you can go back and say, okay, maybe we were being a little hyperbolic when we were talking about some of the stuff that Bush was a racist and things like that. Could you literally have him going, oh, no, we can't, like, you've gone too far.
Right.
Now you're doing this? No, we draw a line. And they've stuck to it.
Right.
That's called being principled.
When the Bushes say, what the fuck?
And haven't had a problem saying no. And stood beside it. Like, that goes a long way, at least in redeeming that name to me, because so you still got fucking problems, but at least you had some integrity. The rest of these motherfuckers, I don't.
At least you're not insane,
right?
Because that's really the thing, is that this is insane. This is beyond just, this is, it's a lack of integrity, or it's, power mongering or whatever. This is insane.
Yeah, it's insane, and I think these people are, you're cowards. You're more afraid of your base and losing an election than you are of standing up. Like, you can't, when you tell me that you think that Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form is better for the country than Hillary Clinton, it shows just how sexist you are. It shows you how much of a loser you are. And it shows you that, to me, you're either sexist and you really believe that, or you just are greedy and don't want to lose your seat and your seat of power. Mm-hmm. It's those two things. So, all right, last thing, since I'm down to my last terrorist, we'll end on a good note. This is our Black Woman shout out moment, and I am going to shout out the ladies on the MTR Network, Shannon Latoya, Dr. Petty Krueger, like all of you all. I want to thank you so much for all the work you guys have done for the network, and just going forward. Oh, and I got to throw in Hiorja too, because she'll have some stuff coming out as well. What we have planned going forward for the MTR Network wouldn't be possible without Black women. And you guys, everybody talks about me and DPOM and stuff like that. And hey, we do nerd shit, but the ladies do nerd shit and more. And I just want to give them a shout out for everything they've done for helping the network. And I asked for help, and a lot of people stepped up, but I just want to shout out the Black women who decided to come and really help out and do that. And I really appreciate. I love you guys. So, Sojo, last person here, last woman standing. Who is your Black woman shout out?
Let's see. My Black woman shout out is actually going to be my co-host, Lady Buddha, who actually just put out a book on Amazon this week, and it's called Divine Design. I think it's, I got to pull it up. It's Divine Design, Recapturing Your Magic or something like that. But anyway, it just came out on Amazon last week, so we do want everybody to go ahead and...
Send me the link. I'll put in the show notes.
Yeah, definitely. Let's send you a link. But yeah, I do want to give her a shout out for that, because that's awesome.
I didn't even know. I would have said something when she was talking. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we definitely put in the show notes and get people to buy that and help that out. So all right, folks, that's it. We're gonna wrap this show. We kept it kind of nice and short today. Wrap this up. The last couple of ones have been like 3 hours. I'm so glad this one's not, because I got another show in like 40 minutes. So
3 shows today.
3 shows a day and 2-3 tomorrow.
Wow.
I'll be working. I do. I'll be even when I'm not working, I'll be working.
Wow.
But ma'am, thank you very much for joining me, and thank the other ladies.
Fun as always.
Always fun. Especially when we can get Girl Scout cookie slander in there. You can always have that, serial terrorism as a major part of my platform. Like, that's what I'm gonna. When I run, because I'll finally be of age next year. When I run in 2020.
Oh yeah, you got to.
My platform, ending serial terrorism. And,
wait. I was thinking you were just gonna go with the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, that's serial terrorism.
Leave the beds out of it though.
See that's like, I'll go with you. I don't know. I might be able to be convinced by that, but at this point, we're just gonna deal with. Literally serial terrorism and just making Girl Scout cookie cereal and stuff like that. Like, this is some extremism that I just cannot tolerate. And
I can rock with you on that, but once you get into the beds and the pillows and blankets and stuff like that, I may have to vote for somebody else, or just not at all.
See, yeah. Well, then I hope you don't vote. Then. I hope. You know what? I hope you throw your vote away on a third party candidate. Because I believe, because I'm gonna pull a Trump. I believe in the patriarchy and power of men, and I'm going to get the men of America to stand up and vote with me.
You might win on that, though.
There we go. See? I'm going to do something that nobody else can say they can do. I'm going to get I'm going to get all the men to come together. We're finally going to stop this terrorism that you women are leading against us. It's going to happen. That's what we're going to do. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Please tell folks where they can get you and all the other ladies at. And again, we'll put the link into to the book into the show notes. So definitely I want people to check that out.
Come to whiskeywineandmoonshine.com. Everybody's been asking when we are coming back. We will make a comeback when Being Mary Jane comes back on in January, so stay tuned.
There you guys have it. You guys know where you can find us. I'm Sandy Check on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, MTRnetwork.net. Also, check out all the other shows we got coming out. Super Tuesday is definitely there. Again, MTR Network Premium stuff. We're going to have our Doctor Strange spoiler review will be out. Next, will be recorded next week. It'll be out sometime soon after that. And at some point, we're getting a character corner for Teen Titans. I'm going to talk to Deep Home about that. Might be in a couple weeks, and we'll do that as well. And again, we already have ones for Doctor Strange. It just came out this weekend, so you can hear both our non-spoiler review, and you can hear our character corner on Doctor Strange, and check that out. And yeah, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. And until next time, we're out of here. Peace.